Hi, welcome to Driving TV, and I hope you are well. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about tips and tricks on changing gear. Let's start the lesson. So if you're learning in a manual car, changing gear is one of the most important things you'll have to do. You'll have to learn. And many learners on my channel, many viewers on my channel, they do ask me many different questions related to changing gear. Why can't I change it smoothly? Why is it jerky? There are many questions come to my channel related to changing gear. So I thought I'll make a video on giving you all the tips and tricks on changing gear. I'm going to share with you around 10 tips and tricks about changing gear, and I'm going to share with you one bonus tip at the end. So stay for the bonus at the end. So number one, make sure you learn about changing gear. Make sure you know where gears are. It is important for you to know where the gears are exactly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and reverse. Reverse is different in different car. So make sure, first of all, get to know and learn where the gears are and how to change gear, how to go to each gears. Okay, so let's talk about the gear. Okay, so this is your gear, and you know these are the numbers: number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, and I have 6 in this car, and the reverse. Now reverse is different in different car, so make sure you get to know where the reverse is in your car. Some car it could be there, which is here in this car. Some it could be here, it could be there, it could be there. So the reverse could be different for different car, and the rest is same on most cars. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like a H shape. It's the same in all cars. Okay, if you're learning in a manual car. Now, first of all, you need to understand the neutral. This part, the middle, is neutral. So this is neutral. Make sure you remember this. This is known as neutral. So neutral is the middle part here, there. So that's the gear, that's neutral. So every time you need to go to neutral, just go side by side so you know that's neutral. If it doesn't go side by side, so for example, if you're in gear, that's in first gear, if it doesn't go side by side, what does that mean? It means that's second gear. It doesn't go side by side. That's in third gear. It doesn't go side by side. Then you know that's not neutral. For you to go to neutral, it needs to go side by side. So you know that's neutral. Number one. Number two, when you go to neutral, where do you think the gear is? Where does it stay in neutral? Because the neutral is quite big, isn't it? It goes side by side quite a lot. So where is it? When you let go the gear, where is it? Where is the stick? Where is it staying? It's in between 3 and 4. 3 and 4. In between 3 and 4. So if I don't do anything, I just go up. What did I go? I went to third. If I go down, what did I go? I went to fourth. Why? Because when you go to neutral, like I said, it stays in between 3 and 4. That's where the gear is. If I just go up, that's third. If I go down, that's fourth. If I need to go to first, I need to go to my side and then 1. If I need to go to 2, keep pushing it towards me and then down. Then if I need to go to third, all I do is go to neutral and I don't have to do anything. Just go up. Fourth, just go down. For fifth, I need to go neutral and then I need to go this way, and then 5, keep pushing it that way and go down. Okay? If I ever get confused where the gear is, go to neutral and you know where you are now, and from that point you could go wherever you want to go. So now you know you're in neutral, which means you are in between 3 and 4. If I need to go to 1, what do I need to do? I go that way and go there. Neutral again, back to 3 and 4. If I need to go to 5, what do I do? Go that way and go there. So if you ever confuse where the gear is or which gear you're in, go to neutral and just loosen up, and you know what gear you're in, you know where you are now, and from there you could just direct go to third, fourth, or second, wherever you want to go. Okay, so if you do go to a gear and you are confused what gear you're in and you want to confirm it, go to neutral, let go, you know where the gear is now, and from there you just go wherever you want to go. I do have another video on changing gear. I highly recommend for you to watch that, where I do share in great details about where the gears are and how to change gear. So watch that video to get to know the gear. So number one, get to know your gear, get to know how to change gear. That's the first tip and advice I will give you, is to get to know the gear, get to know how to change gear and where the gears are. That way, when you're changing gear, you will know exactly where the gears are. Number two, know that gears are designed to go in each gear. It is designed to go naturally. So if you are trying to change gear and it doesn't go in, it means because you are doing something wrong. Maybe the clutch isn't down fully. Maybe because the speed isn't right for the gear you are changing. Because the gear is designed to go to gear 1, gear 2, gear 3. If you do it right, it shouldn't be a problem. So number two is know that it is designed for it to go smoothly in each gear. So when you put the clutch down to the floor, it should just go smoothly. It should just go smoothly. Okay? It shouldn't be like you're trying to go in and it doesn't go in. The reason it's not going in is because you've done something wrong. Maybe the speed isn't right. Maybe because you didn't put the clutch down fully. Okay? If you do it right, it should just change smoothly without any problem. Okay? So number two, know that it is designed for it to go smoothly. If it doesn't, that means you are doing something wrong. You need to correct yourself. Number three is to remember to put the clutch down to change gear. In the beginning, especially many learners, soon as they need to change gear, instead of putting the clutch down, they try to change gear. Remember, you can't change gear without putting the clutch down. So make sure you remember to put the clutch down before you are about to change gear. Like I said, many learners in the beginning, they forget to put the clutch down in the early stage. So remember to put the clutch down to change gear. You can't change gear without putting the clutch down. Okay. Number four, make sure you remember the clutch goes down fully down. So when I said earlier to remember to put the clutch down to change gear, also remember to put the clutch down fully down, not just half. So you make sure it goes down all the way to change gear, not just this much and try to change. It's not going to go in. And this is another reason why the clutch is going to have a problem going in. Okay, so if you want to change gear, make sure it's down, but all the way down to the floor, then change gear. Okay, so number three is to remember to put the clutch down, and number four is to remember, make sure the clutch goes down fully all the way down before changing gear. Number five, after changing gear, make sure you remember to bring the clutch up smoothly. Many learners, they bring the clutch up quickly, and this is when the problem is. It starts to shake, it starts to jerk. So you put the clutch down, you change gear, and then bring the clutch up slowly, smoothly clutch up, not quickly. Okay, so clutch down, change gear, and then smoothly clutch up, smoothly clutch up. Okay, remember the clutch goes down quickly and it comes up slowly. If you bring it up quickly, you're going to feel that shaky, you're going to feel that jerky. Okay, it's not going to be smooth. So make sure clutch up slowly. So down quickly and up slowly. Number six, if you do change gear and if you think that that's a wrong gear, how do you correct? The best way to correct is to go to neutral, so then you know where you are. And from that point, what do? You go to the gear that you want to go. So say you're in second gear now. You're in second gear and you want to go to third. You went to third, and before you bring the clutch up, you realize maybe that's not third, maybe that's first. So what do? Go to neutral and loosen up, and you know where the gear is now. Remember earlier I said before, you know where the gear is. All you do is go up. Okay, so if you ever confuse where the gear is or which gear you're in, go to neutral and just loosen up, and you know where you are now. And from there, you could just direct go to third, fourth, or second, wherever you want to go. Okay, so if you do go to a gear and you are confused what gear you're in and you want to confirm it, go to neutral, let go. You know where the gear is now, and from there, you just go wherever you want to go. Remember, you are always in between 3 and 4 when you go to neutral. So if you're confused, go to neutral. From there, go wherever you want to go. If you need help on learning to drive and to pass the driving test, don't forget to take the advantage of our online course, which gives everything a learner needs to learn to drive and to pass the driving test. The course has more than 30 videos on the course. It has everything a learner needs. I'll leave a link on the description for you to have a look. Have a look and see and read. If you like it, you could always join the course. Number 7 is to change gear according to the speed. Many learners, they change gear at the wrong time or at the wrong speed. You can't just change gear because you want to change gear. You change gear because according to the speed. The speed and the gear goes side by side. So basically you move off on first gear, you go to around 10 miles per hour, you go to second gear, 20 third gear, 20 to 30, leave it to third. If it's a long road, go to fourth. And then you go down by one. So then maybe you are driving on 30 on fourth gear, and then there's a problem. You slow the car, you're in fourth gear, you slow the car, and the speed is now maybe 10. Problem is now solved. You need to go. What do? From fourth gear, you go to second gear because the speed is now 10. So always remember the speed of the gear. Move off on first gear, 10 second gear, around 20 third gear, and from 20 to 30 third gear. If it's a long road, go to fourth gear if you're going to drive for a while. So make sure you remember that gear works with your speed. Don't just change gear because you want to change gear. Make sure you know which speed is for which gear, or which gear you need for which speed. So make sure you know the speed and the gear goes together. Make sure you know which gear you need for the speed that you are driving. If you go up, which gear do you need? If you slow down and if you reduce speed, which gear do you need for that speed? Sometimes what happens, you want to go left and you know that you need to go to second gear because that's what your instructor said. Every time you go left and right dealing with junctions, try to deal with second gear. So you know you need to go to second gear, but what you don't know, or you don't remember, or you didn't understand what your instructor said, is that make sure you reduce your speed first, then change gear. What you're doing is, you know you want to go left. What you're doing, you put the clutch down, you're going to second gear, even though the speed is 30. You reduce the speed first to 10, near to junction, then go to second gear. Don't just change gear, even though the speed is not gone down yet. So basically what I'm trying to say to you is the speed and the gear goes side by side. You go up gear, you go down speed, you go down gear according to the speed I just said earlier. Now number 8 is to keep both hands on the wheel most of the time. Don't take your hands to gear too early. So if you want to change gear, what many learners does is what they do is they know they need to change gear in a minute. They take their hands on the gear and they're just driving with one hand for a long time. They're not even changing gear yet. Keep both hands on the wheel, and just before you want to change gear, maybe you reduce your speed first. When the speed is reduced, then take your hands, change gear, bring it back. Don't take your hands to gear, then reduce your speed, and then when it's reduced, then you're changing gear. Don't do that. Both hands on the wheel, because according to the rule on the highway code, most of the time, maximum time, you should have both hands on the wheel because it gives you more control. One hand doesn't give you control as much as both hands. Okay, so don't take your hands on the gear unless you are about to change gear. So it's not take your hands, wait to reduce your speed or increase the speed, then change gear. No, keep both hands on the wheel, reduce or increase, and then take your hands to gear, change gear, bring your hands back to the wheel. So keep both hands on the wheel until you are about to change gear. Number 9, block change. Can I change gear in blocks? Of course you can. So what is block changing? Block changing is where you are driving on fourth gear. Can you go from fourth to second and avoid third? Or from second to fourth, avoid third? Yes, you can, depending on what situation you are driving on. But yes, block changing is allowed to do. You should be doing that. So for example, you are driving along on a hill, okay, and uphill. You are driving on second gear. Don't go to third gear early. So normally you would go to third gear when you are driving 20. If you're going uphill, wait until maybe your speed is around 30, and when you go 30 near to the top of the hill, go to fourth gear. You don't have to go to third gear because the speed is already there. So going up, you need more power, which means don't go to third gear yet. Speed up, go up the hill around 30 miles per hour. When you're on top of the hill, go to fourth gear. You could avoid third gear. Same with going second. So for example, you're driving on fourth gear, maybe 30 miles per hour, long road, you're on fourth gear and you want to go left. So you reduce your speed to go left until it's 10 or 15, you could go to second gear, avoiding third. So from fourth, you could go to second. So yes, block changing is allowed depending on the situation. Number 10 is not to worry too much. Just get to know those tips and tricks and just practice. Know that over time, it will get better. I wouldn't worry too much. In the beginning, it's always difficult because it's something new for you. So if I were you, I wouldn't worry too much in regards to changing gear and the problems. All the tips I gave you, go through them, make sure you remember them, you learn them. And if you could learn all of those things I just went through, changing gear will not be a problem for you. So number 10, I would say, is get to know everything I've just shared in this video and just learn them, and practice will make you better. And the last tip, which is the bonus tip, which I promised in the beginning, is jerky. Now this tip is a learner or a viewer on my video. They asked me a question: how can I avoid jerky? Why do I get jerk when I'm changing gear? Why is the car shaking when I'm changing gear? Two main reasons why the car shakes or it jerks when you're changing gear. Number one is because you are bringing the clutch up too quickly. As I said to you earlier, bring the clutch up smoothly. It goes down quickly, but make sure it comes up slowly. That's number one. And number two is because the speed is not correct for the gear that you want to go in. So move off on first gear, 10 second gear, 20 third gear, from 20 to 30 third gear. If it's a long road and you're going to drive for a while, go to fourth gear. Going down is the same. So you reduce from 30 to 20, 20 to 10. Make sure you know which gear you need. Don't just change gear because you want to. Change gear because the speed is there for that gear that you want to go in. The reason the car is shaking, the reason is jerky, is because number one, you bring the clutch up too quickly, and number two is because the speed is not correct for the gear that you want to go in. So the speed and the gear is working side by side. You must know which speed you need for the gear, or the gear for which speed. Okay? And this is the reason why the car is jerking. I hope you are watching the video. If you did ask me that question, I think it was yesterday or day before, there was a comment by someone said that, why am I getting the jerky? Why does the car jerk when I'm changing gear? So I hope this answers the question. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please do give a thumbs up, and please do make a comment what do you think of the video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so don't miss any of my future videos, and hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.